Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, a big round of applause for all these students and everybody in the organizing committee who's put in so much efforts, right from that poster over there, which you see, which says everything started here, the clock rewind, the time rewind, the attention to detail, the kind of emotional labor that must have gone into this. We need to give them a round of applause, for sure. This will not be a long speech, and authorities will not regret this time. The last time I had the mic on this stage not too long ago for the orientation talk, it went on for quite some time. So बाहर मैंने आज notice देख लिया, वो लगा हुआ है, कृपया यहाँ ज्ञान मत फेंकें, यहाँ सभी ज्ञानी हैं. So no Gyan talk here. Just I would first of all like to thank Principal Shri Shritesh Srivastav ji, Prateek Ghosh ji, Sucharu ji, faculty members, everybody. I do apologize if I don't know the names of certain people I might have forgotten, but then to everyone who's made this possible, including students also who were actively involved, Vishal Gupta, Vishal Kalia sir and others, they deserve our appreciation and recognition once again. Because I know a lot of us were trying to put this together, and if you could measure the levels of the feel-good serotonin hormone out there in the hall, that would have been very, very high. You know, to see people bumping into each other after so long, and to see new and transformed versions of each other. We were having a discussion earlier that we will refrain from using any of the old names, right, that we used to call, so I would still urge we don't go there. However, we see brand new versions, and also familiar old faces. Dinesh ma'am, Paranjit ma'am from the library and others. मैं मैम ना हंस रहा सी कि जब अटेंडेंस लगकर घर को पोस्ट जाती थी, तब रजिस्टर्ड पोस्ट जाती थी, तो वो मैम की ड्यूटी हुआ करती थी. तो उन दिनों जब अटेंडेंस जानी थी, we would certainly be surrounding ma'am a little bit more than usual, कि कोशिश करें अगर अटेंडेंस कम है तो घर तक ना जाए. A lot of fond memories here. And I just want to share with you the three biggest lessons that I have learned over the last 25 years. And I hope it's some value, especially to the youngsters out, well, all of us youngsters. सबसे पहले वो यही, और I think all of you will agree with this, कि काबिले तारीफ होने के लिए वाकिफ़े तकलीफ होना पड़ता है. सबसे पहले तो यही है कि काबिले तारीफ जिसको भी बनना है, खास करके from the ones who are now sitting on that side. Life is uncertain, it's unsure, you don't know कौन से रिक्रूटर्स आएंगे, आप होटल की इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, कहीं कॉल सेंटर में जाके नौकरी मिलेगी पहली, तो कैसे लाइफ के क्या ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न्स आने हैं, वी विल नॉट नो, बट जस्ट कीप दिस इन माइंड कि काबिले तारीफ बनने के लिए वाकिफ़े तकलीफ होना पड़ेगा. Just a couple of days back, the chairman of NVIDIA gave an orientation speech to the youngsters at Stanford, and he said, I wish upon you loads and loads of pain and suffering. This is what he said, which is not one would expect on an orientation speech, but this is exactly verbatim. This is what he said. I wish upon you loads and loads of suffering. It is thanks to the suffering that we are who we are today in this room, that I am who I am in this room. The hoteliers, the journal managers, folks who have flown down, especially from other countries, the entrepreneurs, the head chefs, the people who run restaurants, the happy people. And you don't need achievement, you don't need accolades, you don't need 1 million followers on YouTube to become Kabile Tarif. Ye bhi bhul jana. You just need to be a happy, healthy person. And in order to do that, you must go through suffering. And when I meet youngsters these days, I see there's a whole lot of avoidance of suffering. Not just young, even the ones in our age group also. We want to remain in our comfort zones. And I would say, show up. Just show up every day. Show up like the folks who have showed up here. They also deserve a round of applause for showing up, for adding to the magic of the day. So this was the very first thing. The second thing is, none of us, and be honest with me, especially the ones who are the alumni members who've gathered here today, would you have imagined having accomplished what you have accomplished? Yes or no? Probably not. Probably not. You wouldn't have imagined sitting here having undertaken this particular journey, or kitne twists and turns aane hain is journey mein. When I graduated from this college, my dream was to settle abroad, to live abroad, but life had different plans. It brought me back. Every time I would venture out of the country, it would bring me back one way or the other. And now I practice what the psychologists call Fati Amor, love your fate. And I love where I am. And this is the next thing. This institution might have had its shortcomings, just like we did as students. We also had our shortcomings back then. But Gurdas Maan ke wo gaane ki line hai na, कि जेड़े देश दा खाइए उदा बुरा नहीं मंगीदा, लख परदेसी होइए अपना देश नहीं भंडीदा. और उसी हिसाब से आई थिंक लख कमियां रह गई हों, हमें अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन का हमेशा वी शुड ऑलवेज फोकस ऑन व्हाट वर द गुड थिंग्स, हाउ इट एडेड टू अस ऑन दिस जर्नी. तो दूसरी चीज यही है कि मंजिल कितनी भी दूर क्यों ना हो, रास्ता हमेशा पैरों के नीचे ही होता है. मंजिल कितनी भी दूर क्यों ना हो, और आज जो जो मंजिलें यहाँ हम सब ने तय की हैं, रास्ता हमेशा पैरों के नीचे ही होता है. यानी रिसोर्सेज हमेशा वही होते हैं. प्रॉब्लम है हम कंप्लेनिंग में बिजी रहते हैं, ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है, इंस्टीट्यूट में ये टीचर ठीक नहीं था, वो. और मैं आज रिफ्लेक्ट करूं, हम ठीक नहीं थे. I speak for myself. In order for me, okay, I speak for myself personally, in order for me to have gained more from the time, the 3 years that I spent, and when I reflect back, this is the biggest regret that I have is, what if the 3 years here, I could have spent them differently? What a different trajectory that might have been. तो मैं फिर से ही कहता हूं, मैं ठीक नहीं था. उन 3 सालों में मैं ठीक नहीं था. बाकी सब कुछ एग्जैक्टली वैसे था जैसे होना चाहिए था. और आज भी जो स्टूडेंट्स आज यहां पढ़ रहे हैं, एग्जैक्टली जो जैसे है, बहुत बढ़िया है. आप उसका क्या ले जाओगे, कैसे ले जाओगे, कितना ले जाओगे, दैट विल डिपेंड अपॉन यू प्रीटी मच. और तीसरा, द थर्ड बिगेस्ट लेसन, चलना हमारा काम है. कवि हैं हिंदी के एक शिवमंगल सिंह सुमन, जिनकी कविता है कि गति प्रबल पैरों में भरी, फिर क्यों रहूं दर दर खड़ा, जब आज मेरे सामने है रास्ता इतना पड़ा. जब तक न मंजिल पा सकूं, तब तक न मुझे विराम है. चलना हमारा काम है, चलना हमारा काम है. आज भी चलना हमारा काम है, इवन दो वीव टच 45 years. आई स्पीक फॉर माई सेल्फ. फिर अभी ऑडियंस को बोलेगा, नॉट मी. You know, when I was adding up the math and saying 25 years have gone by in a fly, they've flown away the last 25 years. We blink an eyelid and the next 25 years will also vanish. I did my math incorrectly and I was saying the next 25 years will be 60. And later on I realized I was not adding the numbers up correctly. Simranjeet Singh, always poor at math. The next 25 years will be 70. For those of you who are 45 right now, think about that, we'll be 70. And we'll probably be walking and talking and carrying ourselves in different shapes and forms if we meet for another meetup 25 years from now. So just I close on this. For those of us who have this 25 to 70 year journey from now, a lot will depend upon our physical, emotional, mental well-being, and these could be potentially the prime years of our life, ladies and gentlemen. These could be the prime years where we make our mark on the world and make our institute even more proud of us than what it already is. And for those of you who have yet to embark this journey, remember this: if this can be achieved in 25 years, these uncertain youngsters or this uncertain youngster, I don't want anybody shouting from the audience once again, not me, I speak for myself. This uncertain youngster who came from district Gurdaspur, in a small town in district Gurdaspur, to this institute, and that was my first big leap, stepping outside my comfort zone of that small tier 2 city, coming here was a huge push. If we can achieve this in 25 years, being here, sitting in this room, go and talk to these people and see what they've accomplished. Imagine where you will be. Imagine what you can do in 25 years. And let that be your legacy. Let that be something that carries you forward. Let me close on this. तुम जियो हजारों साल, साल के दिन हो 50,000. अगर 100 साल की भी उम्र लगा रहे हैं तो 36,500, 36,500. What is the number? 36,500. That's the number of days we get if we live up to 100. And we've spent a big chunk of that already. 36,500. मान लीजिए कोई डायरेक्ट डेबिट है, डेली का डायरेक्ट डेबिट है, और हर दिन का 1 रुपया कम हो रहा है. And that's what life is. Make each day count. Make each day count. और जो बीत गई सो बात गई. जो बीत गई सो बात गई. यानी जो गलतियां हो गई, there's no point sitting and beating yourself the rest of our lives on the past. Life is happening now, in the moment, to grab it now and take it forward from there. I close with, there was a nurse in Australia, जिसने एक book लिखी, The 5 Regrets of Dying People. Sorry to bring that subject up here on such a joyous occasion, but I think it's important, it's pertinent to the gathering. The 5 regrets of dying people, people on their deathbeds. Number 1 regret: I wish I had the courage to lead a life true to myself and not what society expected from me. I wish at 45 or 25 or 55, we all develop that courage to lead a life true to ourselves and to not what society expects from us. Number two, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. So to all the hoteliers who go to work and the sun is not up, and we come back when the sun is down again, and we see our families for I wish I hadn't worked so hard, which is counterintuitive to the achievement advice, but nobody on their deathbed will say, I wish I'd worked harder. And number three, I wish I had kept in touch with friends and family even more. So to those of you who've shown up, thank you for adding more color, more light, more life to this gathering. We will be posting video excerpts of this into various batches, groups, so they can feel left out, so that they show up next time and there is a bigger gathering in this room. So और कोई ज्ञान हम नहीं बांटेंगे. सुनने के लिए धन्यवाद, and thank you IHM Chandigarh Principal Sir for putting this together. Thank you very much.